Really exciting announcement coming through from the company. Is it a reflection, is what you're saying by this decision that you think the market is undervaluing your US operations?
Look, this is foremost a very strategic decision. We have developed the most successful company in the building space over the last years, and especially in North America, we doubled the company in the past 4 years to over $11 billion with leading margins. And now our plan is to take that to $20 billion. To do that, we don't think to run the company like a subsidiary is the right way. We want to make it an independent company with strong U.S. leadership, with a strong U.S. board to really capture all those market opportunities. The U.S. market, we are so well positioned. We have the big onshoring with the reindustrialization of the U.S. We have the big infrastructure bills. Yep. We have the housing shortage and the needs. So we're super excited to capture all those opportunities.
Okay. Our newly. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but U.S. companies generally trade on higher multiples. You've got a very successful business in the United States. That is not therefore being reflected with your European listing. Many companies are looking to list in the United States to take advantage of those higher multiples. To what extent was that part of your thinking here? And to what extent does this also give you a currency to make acquisitions in the United States as well? Just talk me through the kind of the thinking around just the structure of the listing and what opportunity that therefore gives you.
No, look, we have a rockstar business in North America. We're going to take that to $20 billion. We have more than 850 state-of-the-art plants in the U.S. already, so a big footprint here to be the leading players. And of course, to be consolidated in the U.S. dollar has a big advantage for us. The financing is in U.S. dollar. The acquisitions are in U.S. dollar, which will we keep doing that. And then also we have our own stock for larger acquisitions. So it's a big advantage to have a customized capital structure for this business and to be in the U.S. dollar.
How much, good morning to you, Jan, good to speak to you on the programme. How much of a vote of confidence is this in the underlying US economy, Jan? I know that the sector, in particular around the construction of single-family homes, that's something that's been driving demand in your business. Energy efficiency, changing regulation in the United States, also driving the business. How much of a vote of confidence is this in the US economy?
Yes, I know there's a lot of talk about short-term trends in the US or interest rates, but we have to see the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is huge. We have the onshoring going on, the reindustrialization of the US. We have many companies from Asia, from Europe, building up manufacturing capacities again for automotive, for the white goods industry, for the electronic industries. Then on top of that, we have the rebuild of the infrastructure supported by all these big bills, which are just starting to come into effect now. And then we have a serious shortage in housing, which will also restart with strong demand here in the years to come. So we are extremely positive with the U.S. construction market and believe the spend here is supporting the Holcim U.S. listing very strongly.
Can you tell us some more about your M&A strategy from here then, Jan? Because you've spent years building up this business through deal after deal after deal, and I know there's still talk of doing bolt-ons and possibly talk of doing further transformational M&A. Is there still room for that within this sector?
Yes, I think we did something like 80 acquisitions over the last 5 years, so this has been one part of our growth story. Of course, we also have strong organic growth. We have innovations. We're building new factories. So that's all our master plan to have a growing company. And this doesn't stop now. I think this will be even more active going forward.
Jan, let's talk a little bit about your debt plan here. Already you're getting some pushback from some of the analysts that follow your company, really concerns about the fact that if you do spin off this company, how is it actually going to be funded when it does eventually get listed in the United States? Is that balance sheet still getting fed off of some of the European issuance? How are you going to tackle that when it comes to the U.S. debt markets? Any plans there?
Oh, well, I think when you look at the balance sheet, I think we have not much to worry at Holcim. We have the strongest balance sheet in the industry. We have a strong cash flow generation in both businesses, in both of these two companies in the future going forward. So we have little to worry here. We're going to have a very strong capital structure for both companies. and we have plenty of headroom to support the U.S. listing, maybe with more share buybacks or something like that to make this a very smooth transaction.
But it's also all hinging on the fact that in 15 months, which is the timeline you yourself have laid out around this listing, you actually are going to see a lot of the same dynamics in the United States. But you yourself just a few minutes ago said a lot of this is based on not only a strong housing market, but strong infrastructure spending and strong energy efficiency spending as well, all of which could be removed if we get a different president in the United States. Right now, it looks like the polls are showing that President Trump is or potentially could be not only the GOP nominee, but also potentially the new president. That changes your entire base case. How do you respond to that?
Well, I think the bigger picture is the reindustrialization of the U.S., and this has been started with the previous president and has been continued with the current one. So I don't think we see much disruption from there, but I just wanted to give you an outlook on the icing on the cake, and that we, with the two champion companies, we want to accelerate our growth. However, whatever comes, we have proven over the last 5 years that we do record results year after year, and this is what you can expect from us. We just appointed a new CEO, and he will start basically right away, and he promised the board that 2024 going to be the strongest year for Holcim ever.
Okay, Jan, I just want to fold you into our wider conversation that we're having as well today. Everybody's watching what is happening in the Red Sea. We've seen a series of tanker attacks. Shipping rates are going up significantly. You move a lot of very heavy stuff around the world. What impact is that story having on your business right now? Can you just give us a sort of situation report on what is going on? I know you're about to report numbers, but is the freight rate story starting to have an effect? Is higher fuel costs going to have an effect? Just walk me through what that's going to mean for your business.
No, I think in today's world, you have so many dynamic developments. When you just look over the last 5 years, from the unprecedented corona situation to deflation to hyperinflation to geopolitical conflicts, I think it's the task of any responsible leadership to be agile enough to react to those situations, and we have proven that we are doing that. So I think we will handle also this situation in a very professional and successful manner.